Hello and welcome to today's video. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today's video, we're going to be going over the methodology that I use in my brain to work out darts maths extremely quickly. Now, this is a really strange way of doing things, I would imagine. I can't imagine there are many people who do the same thing, but I thought it was interesting the way that I work things out when I really thought about it, and I thought I'd just show you guys how I do it in my brain. So I've created a visual simulation as to what happens when I'm thinking about darts maths, when someone's thrown 3 darts and I need to work out what they've got left. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through that in as much detail as possible, and you're going to be seeing the weirdest way that I managed to work out darts maths using a piece of string and a ruler. This is what happens. This is what happens in my mind. But guys, want to find out how I do that? Stick around, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are brand new, and let's get into this crazy little world inside my head. So if you didn't already know, if you've not watched any of my videos before, I spent nearly 6 years as a referee in the PDC, doing all the marking and all that sort of side of things, and I consider myself to be exceptionally good at it. Now, I'm not a very good dart player. You guys tell me all the time that I suck at darts, and I'm sorry about that, but I am a very good referee. As far as refereeing go, I think I'm pretty good. So this is just kind of like me explaining how I do my job. Obviously, I'm not trying to teach you how to play darts because I'm not that great at darts. But doing this side of things, it's an interesting little job. It's a funny little job. And I personally think that I'm pretty good. And you might be wondering, why did you never make it on TV? And to be completely honest, after being told 4 or 5 times that I was the next person in line to do the PDC refereeing on the stage, I never managed to get round to doing it for some. I'm not still salty about it, I promise. But let me explain to you how I became one of the best referees, or my little way that I do things. So, in front of you, on this other camera, we have got a ruler. This is a ruler. I have stuck 2 rulers together because I needed it to go in a certain order. There's a little bit of red at the end here. And I have 9 pieces of string. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of string. And that will become apparent as to why I have 9 pieces of string in just a second. So let me explain to you how this whole thing works. So of course, when you're refereeing a darts match, when you're marking a darts match, they are going to throw 3 darts, you've got to work out their score, and then you've got to take it away from what they have remaining. So, for an example, let's go ahead and let's put in, let's say the person's on 423. So we'll type in, or we'll write down 423. That's what they're on. Let's say, for example, they've gone, I don't know, treble 20, single 20, treble 19. They've scored 137. Now, we need to take away 137 from this 423. And let me go through the process that I use to work this out using my weird string ruler method, which happens in my brain. Now, I must admit, it's not something that I've taught myself to learn. It's something that my brain just does. And I don't know why, but it's always been something in my head that I can visualize when I'm marking, and it's always correct. It's always correct. So let me show you exactly what I mean. So we need to take away 137 from 423, and this is the way that I would do it. So I would start over on the right side. So I would start with this 7 and this 3. Now I need to take away this 7 from this 3. Now you can't do that. You can't take away 7 from 3 because it's -4. So that's not very good for darts terms. But if you've got a double-sided ruler like this, which goes from 1 to 10, it does go up to 11 and 12, but we'll ignore 11 and 12. And on the other side, it flips and it goes from 10, obviously it's upside down, it goes from 10 all the way down to 0. Let me show you how this thing works. So, I need to take away 7 from 3. So I find my bit of string, that is number 7. So this is 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. This is my 7 string. So this piece of string is the length of 7, these are inches, but whatever it is. In my head, they're not really like distances. They're just, that's 7. So this is my piece of 7 string. And if you go back to this thing here, we need to take away from the 3. So in my head, this is what I do in my head. I put my piece of string onto the number 3. Now, it overlaps. That doesn't help. But if you hold the piece of string on the number 3, wrap it round, keeping hold of the number 3 like this. On the back end, it should be on a number. And that number, if we put it around the correct way, that number is a number 6. So that is the answer. So my first thing is, this number here is going to be a 6. I know that's going to be a 6. This is just what happens in my head. If you're not following along, I do apologise. I'm just trying to get my information out of this brain to you in as best an answer as possible. But then it messes up the next score. But if you take your number 7 string and you put it on the 3 and you wrap it around, if you go past this red line and you have to use the back end of the string to get yourself to a 6, an upside down 6, a 6, then you need to add 1 to the next score. So at this point, because I've wrapped around the end of the ruler here, I now need to turn this into a different number. So I now need to turn this into a 4 instead of a 3, what it was. So it's now essentially 147, but in the same way, the same rule applies. So we take our number 4 string to work out the next number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need to take away from 2, which again, we get into the same issue as we had before. So we take our number 4 string, which is the 4 length string, we put it on the number 2, and we put it around the back of this ruler, and flip it onto the other side. On the other side, it goes to an 8. So that is our next number that we write down. So that is an 8. But again, because we've gone past this end of the ruler, because we wrapped it around the ruler, this now turns into a 2. Now this is obviously all happening in my brain very, very quickly, but again, the same thing happens. So we now take this 2, which we have a number 2 string, which is this one. We now take this 2, and because we need to take it away from a 4, that is easy. So we go from the 4, the 2 string goes across down, and that lands on a 2, which then, because we don't go past the little threshold on this side, because we don't go past this edge, it stays as a 2. So if my maths is correct, 423 minus what should have been 137 equals 286. And that's what happens in my brain every single time. My brain has these pieces of string ready. It has this ruler ready, and it also does everything for me. Now, I don't know if that makes me like some sort of super genius. I would imagine it doesn't. But that's what happens in my brain. And that's how I correctly work out the score remaining every single time, without fail, without mistakes, ever. And I just thought it was an interesting way and an interesting visualization of how some people's brains work. Maybe you can implement this. I don't know, because I didn't teach myself this. It just started happening one day, and that's just the way that my brain works. So guys, that is how it works. Let me do another one. Let me do another one just to explain. Let me do one more. We'll do one that has less of the follow through thing. So if we do like 456, I'm sure we've all been on that score a few times, and we have to take away. Let's do 49. So we score 49. We have to take away 49. So I'll put it here. I'll mess that up. Okay, we'll start again. I'll do it again. 49. Okay, so once again, we take the 9 string, which is this one here. The bottom number is take away, so this is the string number. So if we take the 9 string, the string that is 9 sections long, and we put it on the number 6, we end up putting it here, it wraps around, and on the other side, it reaches the 7. It's upside down for you, but it reaches the 7. So that number, again, is a 7. We've gone past the red little line thing on the end of this ruler, so this now becomes a 5. We add 1 to this, so I can just put a 1 there, pretend that's a 5. And then we do the same. So we now need to do 5, take away 5. So we find our 5 string. These are a little bit messed up now. But we take our 5 string, we put it on the 5, and it ends on the 0. But because it's not wrapped around the back, we don't need to do anything. So this becomes a 0 now, and there's nothing to do here, and that's a 4. guys, I hope that makes sense. I hope that wasn't too complicated, but that is how my brain does darts maths, and I just thought it was interesting, and I thought I'd show you guys in a nicer visual way. So yeah, if you did enjoy the video, leave a like on it. Let me know how you get on when it comes to the darts maths and stuff in the comment section below, and I look forward to listening to what you have to say. Anyway guys, thanks for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe! Thank you very much. Goodbye!